everybody here and live for today's Japa workshop. We're on the topic of Vipralamba. So this was the topic that I would describe as one of the more, I don't know if I would use the word challenging, but certainly it's hard because you're trying to talk about a spiritual emotion of evoking this nearness to Krishna. Yes, so Vipralamba meaning you know something is far and you want to attain, you want to get there. So it's not just, in one sense it's not just separation, it's that we want to arrive somewhere. And I found, because the week was not so amazing, that sometimes the material feelings can be a little intense, or just arrangements, or this, or what am I doing, or my body hurt, whatever. It's like, like, sense of longing, like, I don't know, maybe I just want to sleep, or have a rest, or, what's going on here. I also almost cancelled today because, I thought, it's quite tough at this moment. However, I know that most of you are going through a little bit of a tough time. Some more, some less, right? And what is this practice of bhakti yoga if we don't try to push through those elements also? Not push through, maybe just try to get through to the other side. You know what I mean? So externally, maybe we even manage it. We managed our service, we did it. But somehow internally is where the process of bhakti yoga really seems to work. So that's our experiment today, to see no matter what state we are, to see if we can, I wouldn't even say push those feelings aside, I would even say see if we can use them in this idea of maybe what's missing is deeper than maybe the body aches, or it's too much this or too much that. Maybe there's something deeper that's sort of calling within us, Make sense so far? So, there's a wonderful picture here, which is that sometimes when you're not feeling so great, it's like, oh, poor me, all alone in the world, what's happening, or something goes on, like this. I'm quite a bouncy person, so I don't stay so long in those thoughts, but sometimes, I can't, I'm like a whole, I once had counselings different times, and I said to her, do you think I'm depressed? She said, well, you're a little bit too active, that one can say there is some sadness there, but one keeps going, so there is this element. But sometimes, I have to pass this picture on, sometimes don't we feel a little bit like this? This is, okay, I have to show because there's people, let me take my letters of love to Krishna. So it's a picture in an ocean, and there is a boat, and you've somehow fallen off the boat, and you're just like there. Here, Robin, you can have a look and pass it around that you see. It's a very, somehow it's a very nice painting style. Sir, does it feel like this sometimes? You don't want it to. You have to see the picture, sorry, you're looking at me like, what does she mean at this moment? Oh yes, please, say something.
Sometimes for me it feels like, this trunk in the city where they have a connection to the electricity wire above, and sometimes it feels that I go off the track and I lost the connection to the wire.
Oh, the drums, I don't know about this, explain a bit more. The drums which... Oh, sorry, Petra.
This kind of chains.
Oh, can you feel like this sometimes? Yeah. Maybe it's a question for us all. Maybe sometimes this struggle in our real longing for spiritual life is because of the element that we're still in the material world. And I don't think any of us should feel bad, because if we were not and we were already in Golokadam, then why would we be here? So, it's just natural that there are some moments that it doesn't work. But maybe when there are feelings like that, and actually we feel trapped in material force or whatever it may be, maybe, just maybe we can transfer it over. So I will read this poem from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is a little bit on this theme. So, alas, how unfortunate I am. I have fallen into this insurmountable ocean of material existence since time immemorial. I am being thrown here and there by the violent waves of my wicked desires. I cry miserably at my helpless condition. I do not see any hope of being saved. The ocean is insurmountable. What should I do? How will I be delivered? I do not see any solution to my dilemma. Alas, alas, I'm most unfortunate. The power of Maya takes me by force, and there is no one to help me. Now I turn to you. O Lord, take me to you. Lift me up to the cooling shade of your feet. Oh, I beg you, have mercy on this wretched soul. For those who want information, this is from his song, Anadi Karama Fale. If Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in such a way, in some sense, doesn't it also give us some hope? In one sense, you may say, oh, but he's so realized and he feels like this. But this is the point of this topic in particular. This feeling in material life of separation is actually terrible. But when that is in relationship to Krishna, everything changes. Sometimes they say that the reason why we feel so lost in material world is because there is inside all of our hearts a hole. And this hole is the shape of Krishna. And we will try to fill it up with so many different things. This, we'll make it nice here, get the right job, do this, this, this. But it can never be filled until Krishna is inside. And then so I thought in this feeling that one is not quite so right now. Someone may say it's astrologically or this. Maybe all of it has some part to play. But beyond that aspect, the reason that most of us, I think all of you that are here now today, ended up here was because we're striving together. Sometimes we have wonderful exchanges together. Sometimes others see that we are struggling, but are merciful that they don't make a big point of it. So, like this. Somehow we are there together in this. Particular, that's what we try to cultivate in Simhachalam over a little bit of time. Sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes we get it. That this feeling that actually we're somehow together on this. Because I know, like this, as he prays, I am all alone. Isn't it that? That we feel, okay, it's just me. Whatever it might be, I'm just alone in this. That's it. That's right. I get it. Nobody gets it. It's my situation and nobody gets it. But actually, he understands it. And often people around may understand, but they just, give the space also. If you have a problem, someone immediately goes, what's your problem? What's your problem? And you're like, well, hang on, give me some time with this, So it's something in between. The Lord, it says, waits until we cry for his help. So we are on this process of surrender. That's Sharanagati, that part. But in this Vipralamba mood, we are acknowledging we are so far away from you. We are far. It's really far, But somehow I'd like to be closer. This closeness apparently is meant to be full of bliss and heavenly and wonderful, right? But sometimes we feel it. Might be a nice kirtan. And then something happens and we're like, wow, here I am. And when we see some great souls like the Swamis, when I first joined, one can say properly, like in my 20s, I was like, something's different about them. I saw like Satyananda Swami, Krishna Kshetra Swami, Kadambakananda Maharaj. Different people. Something's different here. I don't understand what it is. But I was used to thinking that we're all on one level. It doesn't mean if you're with the Prime Minister or some famous singer like this. something for me with these, there's something a little bit above. And I meditated it, like on some random food. What is it? What do they have? I'm practicing Bhakti Yoga. They're also practicing, but why do they seem, like they're in a different level? My only conclusion, it's not, I don't know, it's just my own conclusion, was that somehow it said that Krishna is present, that he's between every cell, every space. And with the process of Bhakti Yoga, we're trying to awaken that. And these souls seem to have awakened it. Somebody just wrote that Satchidananda Swami came straight from his flight to Vrindavan. Most of us are like, okay, give me my bed or space. And he immediately starts to speak of Vrindavan and of bhakti and on these levels. So it's like this, There's just, I mentioned again, like when Bhakti Vasudeva Swami just leaves me a message sometimes, Hare Krishna, Gopi, Gita, Devi, Dasi. And I'm already like, whoa, okay. And then I'm like, wow, like a whole, and it's even more ecstatic later, but just this beginning, I was like, how is it possible that one can feel? But this Shakti is there, This sort of Bhakti Shakti, we like to say in this way, where this vibration of what we feel is lifted upwards. And for years, I thought, okay, I don't want to give class or do things because I'm not feeling it in that way. But actually, the way the movement is going is that we all try together. And at my hardest time I have to say here was when I had 2 little children. You see Simha and Suchandra, the children at this age. And I was just like, oh my goodness, it's a little hard, getting a bit tough. And I was also looking over the Mataji ashram and I thought, okay, it's just too much. Maybe I'll say it's enough now. And this was the time that people came to me with their problems. And sometimes they would say, I'm really struggling myself. It's like really hard. They were like, some said, yes, that's why we came to you. Because you're struggling, but you still continue. And I was like, yes. So it's along those ways that when we're a family, we support each other in a different way, right? And don't get me wrong, the struggles are not the same anymore. When I first joined, I was just like, oh, okay, I don't know, these people crazy. Stay, what do I want to do? Like, there's Bhakti Shastri that seems a little bit like maybe for eggheads or people who are really into it. Well, I don't know, they want to do that part. It was like it was different thoughts. Now it's more like what is my purpose here? Like, what can I offer to the devotees and my family? And what is my role here on this path of Bhakti Yoga? The funniest thing I always like to quote is someone said that Bhakti Yoga is a little bit like being in the mafia. At one moment you know too much. You can't leave. So it is a little bit like that for me. I can't go back. Believe me, I tried. I'm from London, 20s. I thought, okay, now I can go out partying. It just didn't have the same buzz. It just didn't work. I was just like, oh goodness. And then I tried again. I waited a few more months. I thought maybe it's just, but it didn't. So now, we have enough parties now in Simhachalam. We don't need to go out partying so much. But the other things that come into play is like, but still one feels that we're in this material ocean. And sometimes Lord Nrsimhadev feels very close. He feels like, wow, I can almost just feel him right now. But often, unfortunately, he feels very far away. Very far. Meaning, if someone was close who loves you, like, insanely, 100% loves you, and you feel his presence completely, I don't know if we would do anything but smile the whole day. We probably wouldn't even leave the room, right? We'd just be like, wouldn't we? But somehow with the consciousness, just time, place is actually separating us, that it sometimes can feel he's far. So this is the point in this thought. How do we bring someone who is somehow quite far closer to us? This is the point of Vipralamba. It's a very special part. A little bit just more on the mood. It's a nice story if you wouldn't mind. Actually, I heard Satchidananda Swami talk of it a few times. Should I read? It's called The Sadhu Learns from a Girl in Love. There was once a spiritually advanced sadhu who lived alone in a forest. He was accustomed to sitting in a clearing outside his hut at night to meditate. One night, as the moon was rising, he was startled to hear a rustling sound that got louder and closer. His eyes darted around until he saw a young lady running through the forest. She didn't see him in a hurry and practically knocked him over as she rushed past and disappeared into the night. Shocked, the sadhu brushed himself off and proceeded to chant until early in the morning, when again he heard the noise of someone moving through the forest. He saw the same girl rushing towards him, though this time she saw him and instantly stopped to pay her respects. Shocked at the shift of mood, the sadhu said, "First you come here, you knocked me over, didn't even excuse yourself and continued to run. Now you pay your obeisances? How can I take your respects seriously? Go, 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 go." "What?" said the girl. "I knocked you over?" "Yes," said the sadhu. "You knocked me over. I was sitting here and you came from over there in the night." "Oh, I truly didn't realize. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry," said the girl. The sadhu grew curious. Why had the girl brushed past so rudely the first time and was now paying her obeisance so politely as if trying to excuse herself for the misdeed? The girl shyly spoke. "Oh, Sadhu Maharaj, when I first came by, I couldn't see you because my heart was somewhere else. I was rushing to meet my beloved, from whom I was separated for a year. I was thinking only of him. I couldn't think of anything else. And now, as I'm returning home, I see you." The sadhu immediately recognized his own error. In his heart, he acknowledged, "If I had been absorbed in thoughts of the Lord and was eager to meet him in this way this girl was for her lover, I would not have been so disturbed when she knocked me over. And should I not have been more engrossed than an ordinarily worldly lover? After all, I'm focusing on the greatest lover." This is like that story, that intention of like, what would it be in our lives if Krishna was our only focus? And not just because mentally we knew that, but because of within our hearts we felt that. That was the only focus. And that is the mood, Satchidananda Swami writes, for practicing Krishna consciousness. We are now in this world separated from Krishna. We have to face the sorrow of breaking our most important relationship. We have committed a terrible blunder with the most serious consequences. But as soon as we connect with Krishna, feeling the separation and longing for him, then he appears in our hearts and we meet him like the beloveds do in this story. So last week we spoke more about like the worship of the Guru, right? To bring us closer. Now we are going, in one sense, to examine what's going on within ourselves and bring in that element to make us feel closer to the Lord. If we approach spiritual life without a connection to our emotions, it is difficult because we are opening our heart up to Krishna. If we open our lives and we just depend on our emotion, it's also hard because sometimes we need to practically do something, you know? Like a little questioning this theme of the sense of longing, because sometimes it is like this. I think we already sometimes make glimpse. It's a little hard here. It's getting a little bit hot. What's going on, you know? And to be honest, 9 out of 10, I will somehow try to push myself off that track a little bit, you know? Maybe do something a little more relaxing, not go so deep into it. But why not? Why not the question? If at one moment we get this inkling, something is not quite right, and we go a little bit deeper to think, could it be because Krishna is not quite where I would like him to be. Sometimes we ask and say, somewhere he's there, somewhere. But what would it be like if every time I woke up I felt the Lord like, there he is, that super soul. It's different, right? And I do believe, but I could be wrong, that these great souls, they have that connection. Which is why often they seem jolly. They still remain their personalities. Like Krishna Kshetra Swami, a scholar, or this, but a joyful element towards that. Satchidananda Swami a little bit more like, okay, let's start the kirtan, you know. And we are sort of walking in their footsteps. We're still our individual person, but why not walk for the living examples too, right? That's our path. Kadamba Kananamraj was a very wonderful example of saying, I don't know if it really was like this, but that he was not, he was just on the streets, like a hippie, living his life, was married, different things were going on. But something changed there. Something went in a different direction where then he gave over his life to Krishna. I think in this way he also gave many people hope, because most of us, we come from the Western world. I'm just brown, but I was happy with my life in London, doing wouldn't say nonsense, it was sort of okay, but maybe nonsense for someone who follows a spiritual life. So at one moment we were talking about turning our face to Krishna. Now in this moment what we're talking about is turning our inner orientation. Bjorn, you mentioned, if you don't mind, that you said, you feel more in your headspace. Yeah? Us ladies, we sometimes have a problem, we're always in our heart space, somehow, like this. And Prabhu was more in their headspace. So what do we do? How do we open that element up? I would say it's practice. The nicest thing a counselor once said to me was like, you go to the gym to work up your muscles, make sure your body is in order. We focus on things to do with our mind and emotions, because it's also like a workout. If you don't enter into that element, then sometimes it can be a little bit, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I feel like this, Could be anything. Oh, I feel a bit envious towards this person. It could be this. I was envious towards one person because she seemed to sleep much more than I did. And I was just like, oh God, do I really want to come back to the spirit, to the material world just because of this? And I was like, because it was really, I was like, wow, you can sleep, and I don't sleep, and why? And I was just like, wow. And then I was like, okay, what can I do? That's it. Just going to stop and get more rest. And it was really funny, because that was a very simple example, and envy just went. I was fine then. It just took that responsibility back into my life. So there are different things that can work for us, So we begin with our exercise. Mama has a Japa bag too, huh? Yeah. So we have this. Does someone want to make the lights a little bit low? Is it working? Am I live, or am I just speaking on a microphone for your benefit? I appreciate it very much, by the way, because I have a... Any questions on this? Did I lose anyone on this? It's a bit subtle, huh? This whole point is a bit subtle. Oh, Hare Krishna, dear viewers. Please take your bead back. We are turning the lights off. Will anyone fall asleep with it this low? A little bit more. Just a little bit. Pashchon. I haven't heard that in a long time. Meaning, please find a comfortable position. Could be at the back of the room. Could be in front of Lord Nrsingadev. Could be just in that space within. Did we do the prayer last week? Gaita Gaita Namaki Dasha Hoilo. No, I don't think we did. I think we did with a spiritual master, and we stayed. Basically, Satchidananda Swami writes here, the idea of Vipralamba is to overcome mechanical chanting. So for those who get it done, very nice, good to get your rounds done. However, if we understand the process of chanting, then we know that it's like I call it the shadow name, which is somewhere in between. When we begin to chant with more sincerity or more feeling involved and more attention, then you can see it really affects the rest of the day. This is really something that I would recommend. I think it's also there from Srila Prabhupada. If everything is falling apart, it's not right. He says, sit down in a temple and chant. So it's like to give yourself that time on the holy name. Srila Prabhupada used to say that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the ultimate prayer. When chanting, we stand before the Lord and naturally want to know what pleases Him. A true Vaishnava will express this with the sentiment, please engage me in your service, please accept me. But alas, because of uttering this mantra so many times, our mind and heart tend to switch off and we remain empty inside. No feeling, only inner emptiness. Reading prayers or singing songs can fill our hearts with devotion that releases us from the oppression of mechanical chanting. So it's really like this. One has to really push through it. Push through this idea of, okay, I'm just doing it because I have to. Don't get me wrong, it's not that you can do it every moment, but just sometimes, at one time in the day, just before a round, find a prayer of where you feel connected and try to pray in a sincere way and then begin to chant. The shift is then from whatever you're focusing, either with prayer in a prayerful mood that affects the mind or the heart. And if now we're going to talk about the mood of separation that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. So, for example, the 7th verse of Shikshashtaka prayers. Certain way of pronouncing the S's with and without dots and accents, so yes. But today, we will go through a prayer from the Gita Vali that illustrates Lord Chaitanya's meaning. So please feel comfortable. You know the score now. Get comfortable in your seating area. Johannes, sort of keep your back straight, head up, lower back. Feel comfortable in your area. If you're more comfortable on a chair, feel free to sit on a chair. You should not feel discomfort. And we'll take a few deep breaths in. In, 4, so, and then out again. So please slowly close your eyes. I will read this song, and then afterwards we will begin to chant. Please meditate on the meaning. Gaite gaite nama ki dasha hoilo, Krishna nitya dasha mui hidaresh purilo. What is happening to me as I repeatedly chant the holy names? I have come to understand that I am Krishna's eternal servant. Jani lama maya pase e jaja jakate, Govinda virahe dukkha pai nana mate. I have realized that due to my separation from Govinda, I have been entangled in a network of Maya in this material world. And thus I am suffering material miseries in various ways. Are je samsara more, nahi lage balo, Kanha je Krishna heri, e chinta vishalo. This worldly life no longer brings me any pleasure. The only thing I want to know is what I must do in order to see Krishna. Kande te kande more, angi bara soya, Basha dara heno chakshe hoila udoya. My eyes are filled with tears which pour down like torrents of rain, like the downpour of the monsoon season. Nimase hola mora sata yuga sama, Govinda Vira Are Sahitya Kshama. Now, one moment appears to be equal to 100 yugas. In fact, I am simply unable to tolerate separation from Govinda. Sunya Dara Tala, Jo Diko Dekiya, Paranauda Shaya Hoya, Kikori Shtite Nari Hoy, Jivana Nakikoroya. Looking in every direction, I see the world as completely empty, and this has made me indifferent to life. What should I do? What on earth should I do? I am no longer capable of living. Braja Basi Gana, Mora Prana Raka, Deko Sri Radha Nata, Baka Divi Noda, Minata Mania, Loho Tahare Sate. O inhabitants of Raj, please save my life by showing me the beloved love of Radha. Accept his request of Bhakti Vinod and give him your association. Shri Krishna Vira Are Sahitana Pari Paranacharita Are Dina Dvechari. I cannot tolerate the separation from Krishna anymore. I have only a few days left before the life airs leave my body. Please, in this mood, face the Lord if you can, or Srila Prabhupada, and let us begin to chant with the mood to call out for Krishna and pray sincerely that he hears our plea. We chant in one voice together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Vidya Sati Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As you chant, please think of yourself as a child calling out to his mother. In this way, call out to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna is there for us to attain. Call out for him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare. Krishna, please save me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nam, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nam, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Nam, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Nam Nam, Hare Hare. surrounded in my material world. It's hard to reach out, but please, dear Krishna, accept this Maha Mantra and help me on my path. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. When you finished your round, please slowly look in my direction so that we just come together for the end. we slowly come together. Robin, is it okay? I always begin with you. I hope you don't mind. Just how was that round for you? Oh, you have your own microphone, very professional here. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I will just begin because we have technical and problem, and some people wanted to chant after, so I wanted to finish off in a few minutes. When I was chanting, I somehow sprung to a time where life wasn't going so well at all, in basically every direction, from housing to family to partners. It was like extreme. And on this day, this wet day in England, in London, I came back. And in the last part, it was already thundering outside and lightning. It was all going. And then suddenly, the whole electricity went off. And at that moment, this is around 20 years ago, it's not that our phones had a light on it, you just had maybe the little screen. So it's just completely dark, completely and utterly dark. And I was like, no, it's like this. You don't exist, Nishingadev. I'm all alone. It's enough. And I just got under my blanket and went to sleep. I was just finished. I mean, it was really too many different directions. I thought, how could it be possible? I'm on this path and it's just not working. And in this moment, I remember thinking of Lord Nishingadev and saying, you don't exist. Under my blanket, went to sleep. And in the middle of the night, I had a dream that I don't know if I will ever forget. In the dream, it was as dark as it was outside. So it was completely dark. And then, from this darkness, an eye opened. Now, usually, I don't know if we dream it, we have some sort of screen or some space. But this eye was so big, it was beyond my vision. This eye was huge. And I knew it was the eye of Lord Nishingadev. And as he opened his eye, there was some light, because the irises or what you say around. And then I woke up. Because there's not so many times I think in our lives where we have a dream that totally, you feel that it was so real and completely out of anything that you could have thought of yourself. This eye, I mean, literally, it was like I saw this moment, this eye was this big and going completely out in some direction. And I understood. You said, I'm not here, so thank you for calling out to me. But yes, I am. I'm here. And I was a bit like, and I was not around so many devotees, so it was not something I could share straight away, But I knew in this moment that the Lord has showed me in the darkness, because even in the dream I was in the dark. In the darkness, I am also there. And the other thing was, okay, maybe you're there. It was not that everything went wonderfully afterward. You were there. It made me think the eye was there, was looking over me. But sometimes it is that the Lord looks over us, but doesn't necessarily step in to say, hi, I'm here, dancing and drumming. He's there. At the moment that we sincerely call for him, something can change. Even I was sincere in saying he doesn't exist. That was my ignorant but very determined view. But it even felt, even as I called him out in this way, the Lord somehow reciprocated. I remember this because it's like that time in this longing. Some of it is like, you're looking for something. You're like, okay, it's just not here anymore. And that could be how it feels with our relationship with Krishna. I'm looking and not really feeling it. I've tried. But that's the moment think Satchidananda Swami gave a lecture. He said, just at that moment, we're just so close, it can be that we leave. You know, it's that longing that brings us closer. It's a difficult term, Vipralamba, in this way. I have this name, Gopi Gita Devidasi. Gopi Gita is often referred to the song of separation. So on this level, it's a difficult theme. But you may be asking, why do I bring it up? We're not practicing for so many years. What is this? Maybe it's, on a different... But it's not true. Most of us, especially if you're not practicing for so long or long, will know what it feels like most of you nodded, with that person in the ocean. Help, what am I doing? And in that moment, that calling can be seen as that step towards that vipralamba, that sense of longing that will bring Krishna closer to us. I just did that at an interim, because please tell me, how was your...
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it was quite interesting. Like at the beginning, it took some time to draw my attention always back on the focus. But at the end, I was thinking like, actually in the moment I'm well. And so I started to remember a moment where I didn't feel well. And then it started to get more intensified. Mm-hmm. And then I visualized this one problem I have. And I could really feel like the presence of... Actually now when you tell in the Shingadev, I think it was him. And he really took the problem away from me. Mm-hmm. And the presence of himself got bigger and bigger, like really strong, and was like, you are under my guidance.
Wow.
It was really strong. So yeah. It was...
This was just now that
you
felt it? Wow, amazing. Yeah. I saw you paid obeisances after you chanted. So
yeah.
It is like this, though. When one feels we're touched and we...
Yeah, but it was not like in my point of like tears, emotionally touched all of it, but it's
it
like...
It should be sincere, Robin, you know?
Yeah.
Just roughly...
Yeah, and for sure, don't force, yeah. But yeah, you are under my guidance, so...
Super. We are under his guidance, and Robin definitely. For you, Johannes?
I'm feeling good by chanting. I'm feeling this presence from Narasimha, feeling protective of him, and I try to chant straight.
Nice. Rosemary?
I am sleepy, and I realized when I'm like sleepy, my mind does not get so much distracted when I'm fully awake.
It doesn't get so distracted?
Does not.
When you're sleepy?
Yes.
Oh wow, okay.
Because when I'm fully awake, my mind is difficult to control.
Okay.
So I'm having these difficulties, and today it's a bit now better because I am sleepy and I am more focused.
Wow.
And the atmosphere here, especially today, is very nice and contemplative.
You were able to chant nicely?
Yes, better than when I walk outside also.
Narayani and Mama? Mama.
Bien. A veces la canto, me obligo a cantarla y la canto sin fe.
She says that this round was good, but that you were mentioning at the beginning that it should not be like mechanic. She says that sometimes she forces herself and she just chants because needs to chant, but without much faith.
Que la canto sí de forma mecánica y que cada vez le estoy cogiendo más, o sea, estoy poniéndome más, me cuesta cantarla menos, que antes me costaba mucho más cantar.
Says that now it's a process and now it's less difficult for her to chanting without like this tough feeling.
Y ahora le pongo fe, poquitita, pero algo.
And she says that now she tries to put a little bit of faith, little bit, but it's at least something.
what is a nice thing for your mama is to remember when her dear daughter, Narayani, was calling out for her, Mama, Mama. And that is the mood that we are chanting Hare Krishna. Most of us mamas will remember this. It's a sort of... Also Prabhupada. Prabhupada said that this is the core.
So she says at the beginning it was difficult for her because she never chanted, like she took more seriously like a couple of years ago, since like very long time, but that now it's better. But yeah.
And Narayani, how was it for you?
For me at the beginning I was more distracted. Still
Translating.
I will translate for her. No. So at the beginning for me it was more distractive because I was thinking, oh, I need to finish the laundry in the guest house and some messages and some things, and still my mind was like this. But when you say that we should like cry for Krishna, and when you ask like Krishna save us, then in that moment it really helped me just to concentrate, like, well, it matters because it's service, but I need to be focused on my rounds to do nicely the service. And yeah, it helped me like to realize, oh, I should really approach Krishna like in each syllable, like take advantage of that.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Bjorn. Say please at home. Did it work? Then Bjorn, then please also reflect on how it was at home. It may be easy to write it down because then it's easy to go back onto it and see how the chanting improves.
It was intense praying, and yeah, what can I say about it?
Intense.
It was intense praying.
Sounds that you were present.
Yeah, and there was the prayer that the Lord accepts that I'm endeavoring, even though there are so many difficulties, and He knows. This is what you said at the beginning, and that resonates with me. So I could put my heart into this, and because I currently kind of feel it very strongly. That's why the intensity was also, the quality was very high.
Amazing. Well done. Thank you. As I said, this topic is a little difficult, so I think this will be our final day on this, because next week we will go on Sharanagati. Somehow I feel as we're often talking about surrender, it goes a bit simpler. This topic of Vipralamba, I actually thought it wouldn't work, but for whatever reason, maybe the Lord wanted it to go live. It's quite an intimate topic. It's quite intimate, and therefore in that way I'm grateful there's not so many of us, because it's like we're cultivating a mood by putting as close as we can, our real sentiment and emotion in them and laying them out. When it was too many people, it's like a different space. So in that way, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us that to chant in Vipralamba is the real perfection of our chanting. These feelings cannot be taught by a specific technique. They arise naturally in a purified heart. However, by following in the footsteps of previous acharyas and by reading their songs and prayers, the devotion can rub off on us. These prayers are outpourings of their innermost feelings, and by connecting with the mood of worship, our hearts can experience deep devotional feelings too. Anyone who realizes that the material world is not our home can feel longing for Krishna and come to see that our deepest need is the Govinda necessity. That is the secret of Gaudiya Kirtan, to cry out for Govinda, Govinda virahena me, and pray for the Lord to kindly hear and awaken bhakti within us. This will inform all of our aspects of chanting. The inner resolve, I want only you, dear Krishna. Just end on this very beautiful picture. This is different, huh? You see the person is back on the boat and looking out what seems like a night sky and seeing that the Lord is somewhere there. Okay. I think some people still have rounds. Ooh, I also do. So I give you the book. You want to have a look from here? Just see. And those who want to continue chanting, please try. I also will stay for a round or so. Sometimes it is we get into a mood when we're chanting, and something very small like guest house laundry may put us off. Funny, oh, how the world became. Yeah, so we, it's good to, for that moment when we're feeling to go with this, I better without a microphone. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna. Just pinky side. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna